إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Distinguished guests, dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers at home, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a brand new season of Morning Baraka. The channel, I'm here at the MCR. Is it the MCR? Yeah, Master Control Room, where all of the magic happens behind me, behind the scenes. This season, let's forget about this season and let's forget about this week, because today we have a jam-packed show for you. On the show, we have new segments, we have a fantastic guest, we also have fan favorites like On This Day and 2 Minute Reflection. We also have a brand new segment which I'll introduce later on in the show. However, this season is, let me go back to the season actually, the season is also a season of happiness. There's a lot of wiladats in Rajab and Sha'ban. It's the happy season, so we're looking forward to that, but also keeping in mind there are some istishhads or some wafats as well to keep mindful of. We'll commemorate and celebrate the whole thing across this season, inshallah, of Morning Baraka. I'm excited, and here's what's coming up on today's show. Headlining the show will be our first guest of the new season. Today we're talking fitness with Sino, that's Yasin Hafidh, who's giving us an insight actually into keeping fit and healthy, some tips, and explaining what calisthenics means. And then making his debut for Morning Baraka is Yasir Mansour, as we introduce Yasir's discoveries later in the show. Find out where he has been as he discovers hidden gems in London. And of course, we end our show with the dua of Monday recited by Ahmed Rakabi from the holy city of Karbala. So there you have it, the first episode of this season. We are excited to have Yasin Hafidh discussing fitness within our community. Yasir then discovers a hidden gem in London, and ending with dua of Monday. Hi there and welcome to the show. Now, maintaining a balanced and healthy lifestyle means you've got to get yourself into the gym. Yes, the gym, the place where people go to exercise, a place where some people are allergic to, but some people are addicted to. Now, if you've made a New Year's resolution and are still in the gym by the 22nd of January, then well done, keep it up. But I'm assuming, like the most of us, you've pretty much given up. And that's why there are personal trainers out there to help motivate and inspire you to keep going, to go that extra mile, to help realize your goals and aspirations. More and more youth actually are heading to the gym as a means to channel their energy into keeping their bodies fit and, let's face it, chasing gains and looking good. Now, one of those youths is Yasin Hafidh. I've known Yasin from a very, very young age. I used to watch him and my younger brother play football. I kid you not, when they were about probably 11 or 12 years old. So I've known him for a very long time and I've seen his progression. He's actually online known as Sino Fitness, who's been into fitness and bodybuilding from a very, very young age. And delighted to have him on the show. Yasin, assalamu alaikum.
Assalam. Thank you for having me on the show.
That's absolutely fine, mashallah. You've grown up to be a very immaculate man, mashallah, Yasin. How's it going? How's things in Bradford, by the way? I know you were supposed to be back in London yesterday, but the storm and all of that, hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, everything's good. So I was on my way to London, and then we realized the storm was, too powerful, so we just turned back and had to stay here for another day. So
No, that's okay. That's okay. I wish the intention was to get you into the studio so that me and you can share some fitness tips. Not that I can share any tips with you. More, I wanted you to share some tips with me and also the audience. But maybe, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we can get you back in, make some space. and get you doing your calisthenics, whatever you want to call it. But we'll talk about calisthenics later. Yasin,
definitely.
what inspired you to pursue a career in fitness coaching, especially at such a young age? How did you get started on this journey?
So when I first started calisthenics, I was just on my way home. And I was passing by a park and I just saw so many people just training together. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try and see what's going on. So I went to the park. There were many guys training together and they showed me how to do certain exercises. So my backstory is like when I was younger, I used to do gymnastics up until about 11 years old. And I stopped. So when I stopped gymnastics, I went about 8 years not doing anything. So when I saw the bars and the people training, it reminded me of like the old days when I used to do gymnastics. So when I was there, I started going every day. So 7 days a week, I was training 3 hours a day, which is not actually ideal for muscle building. It's not actually ideal for muscle building or skill based. But I started improving, and many people started asking me for tips because I became of what a certain level of skill. So it's kind of like coaching came to me. People wanted me to coach them and show them how to do certain exercises, how to gain strength, and yeah, that's how I got into coaching.
So before we get into calisthenics, yeah?
Yeah.
Calisthenics. Now, before we get to calisthenics, is there a big difference between kind of normal gym goers and people who just want to build? Do you know what? Let's get into calisthenics now, and we'll talk about your journey into kind of personal training later. Describe to me what calisthenics is.
So essentially, what calisthenics is someone that uses, it's a strength training exercises that utilizes someone's body weight as resistance, and this can be done with or no equipment at all. So basically, all exercises of calisthenics, they're all compound movements where you're using more than one like joints. So let's say if I'm doing pull-ups, I'm going to be working out my core, my biceps, my lats. So it's multiple muscle groups working together.
So it's not the use of weights. It's the use of your own body weight to train.
Yeah. So your own body weight basically is the resistance that you're training. So
anyone could do this at home then?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much. So things like, again, I mean, I haven't been to the gym for quite a while, but things like pull-ups, I don't know what they call push-ups,
so
blah, blah, blah.
There's a lot of like progression exercises. So let's say if you wanted to learn how to do a muscle up, which is usually the first skill that people do want to learn when they start calisthenics. So the progression would be pull-ups, then explosive pull-ups. So there's so many variants of exercises that you can use and utilize to learn new skills. So to start off with, it would be learning the basics of push-ups, pull-ups, dips, hollow body holds, V-sits. There's just so many that you can get into.
So I've seen videos of you online, and I haven't actually seen, I guess, any particular weights. So what if someone is, quite thin and they wanted to get into calisthenics? Does it still work like that? Do you have to have a lot of body weight essentially, or?
No, you can. So it depends on what the person's goal is. Is your goal to gain muscle? Is your goal to lose weight? So let's say let's use the example of someone being skinny or slim. What they want to do is essentially bulk up. So to start off with calisthenics, they'll be using their own body weight, and they need a high calorie. They need to be in a calorie surplus diet for them to gain weight. After they reach a certain level, their body weight is, they're too strong for their body weight, and they're not able to put like progressive overload. So what that means is they might need to start adding weight on whilst doing pull-ups. And that way they'll continue to keep that progressive overload and get bigger if they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, moving on to more kind of like your personal journey. So you said people started asking you questions about, you know, what to do here and what to do here. So certain tips that they asked you. So what made you think, let me make this a bit more into a professional kind of business?
So they usually say with your business, you should follow in with your passions. So
Yeah.
my passion is within calisthenics and fitness. So I thought, why not monetize off something that you're good at?
Yeah.
So the more people started asking me about fitness tips and exercises to do, I started making programs for free to family, friends, and they saw a lot of progress through that. I took a few friends into the gym, and a few of them I taught them how to do a backflip from scratch, and they told me like, why don't you actually start charging to offer these services for people and try and improve people's lives? So I went down this route because it genuinely, when you make someone achieve their goals, it gives you a certain level of satisfaction and, you know, happiness.
So you said backflip. Is that like your party trick? So whenever you're with a lot of people, is that something that you would just do? Is that a party trick that everyone asks you to do?
Yeah, I try not to, but you know, people push for it in weddings and wherever it is where there's
In
kids.
weddings. Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, you mentioned you know certain client you know friends of yours that you want them to achieve their goals. Can you tell us about a particular rewarding success story with one of your clients and maybe touch upon some of the strategies that you employed to help them achieve their fitness goals?
Yeah, so one of my clients had a body type called skinny fat. So they'd have like skinny arms, skinny legs, and they'd have a bit of a belly. So we went from this level, and the diet that he used was a calorie maintenance but high protein intake. So we went from that, and he transformed into being, you know, bulky and lean at the same time. He had a lot of muscle mass, and he was lean. So this success story, yeah.
No, I was
What
going to
was
say yeah, the
you?
success.
So this success story was probably by far the best because he went from being, you know, depressed, didn't want to work out, with no routine, with zero discipline in the gym, to becoming almost a gym fanatic, almost as much as I am. So yeah.
And that for you was quite rewarding to see the progression from someone who's so how much does mental strength then play a part in your exercises?
So to start off with the gym, it takes a lot of mental strength. So sometimes, let's say, if someone wanted to get into the gym and they say to me, how do I stay on? How do I stay consistent? You shouldn't think like that. Why not try and outsource the accountability? So essentially what you do is you outsource this willpower to someone else, which is a coach. So even I've got a coach, Ali. And it's not because I'm not competent enough to create these programs. It's because I want someone to hold me accountable for things. So I need to send my coach videos every time I have a session. So it's impossible for me to miss a day. And if I do miss a day, he'll stop coaching me. So what you need to do is outsource that accountability, outsource that programming, because you won't sit there and waste time creating a program, researching how to do certain exercises, researching what diet to have. So what you'll be doing is buying yourself time. So people say, "Oh, I never have time," but you can actually buy yourself time through outsourcing these you know, frivolous things, let's say.
Yeah. So walk us through a typical program. I know it's dependent on an individual, but
Yeah.
let's just take the guy, you know, the success story that you had. Take us through his routine, his program.
So with him, he started off on a 3-day full body workout. So what I try and do within that program is add, let's say, two different exercises. You need to hit each muscle group twice in that week, let's say, for optimum muscle growth. So 3 days a week, he'd do two chest exercises a week. So I always put dips and pull-ups, and I focus on calisthenic skills. And I add a few resistance training as accessories, like with like dumbbells. He'll do like curls or skull crushes for the triceps. but he'd start off using banded exercises. For example, banded dips, banded pull-ups, and a lot of core focused exercises like plank, weighted planks, hollow body holds, push-ups. And if someone wasn't able to do any of these, he'd work on the eccentric, like eccentric chin-ups. So he'd start from the top and come down slowly. And that way you're building that muscle resistance, strengthening your muscles so that you can do the exercises within the future.
So Yasin, what if someone was to come and say, those typical gym goers who are very weight-based training as opposed to calisthenics, what would you say? What's the advantages and disadvantages of calisthenics compared to weight training?
So there's a few advantages of calisthenics and there's a few advantages of weight training. So weight training, what it does is it can get you bigger quicker. So if your goal isn't to be really strong and be able to do skills and you just want to get big, I'd say weight training is the best thing for you. If you're trying to learn skills and be stronger, calisthenics is better for you, because calisthenics, there's a whole world to different skills. There's different varieties compared to just lifting the weights and then pushing it. So essentially it depends on what your goals are. Let's say calisthenics, if someone stopped doing calisthenics for about a year and he wanted to get back into it, his muscle memory would be more powerful than a gym goer, a normal average weightlifter. So it does depend on what your goals are, and it's best suited for, which exercise you want to do.
Okay. Yasin, don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a very, very small break. After that, we're going to talk about social media and, a bit more social media presence, inshallah. So stay tuned.
No worries.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ورد في الحديث الشريف عن الإمام زين العابدين صلوات الله عليه أن الله تعالى أوحى إلى موسى بن عمران على نبينا وآله وعليه السلام هذا المضمون: أن إرشادك الضال أفضل من عبادة 100 سنة صيام نهارها قيام ليلها. قال موسى بن عمران: يا رب، من هو الضال؟ قال الله تعالى: الذي لا يعرف إمام زمانه تعرفه. هداية الضال تعريفه بإمام زمانه. يعني مو أنه كلمة واحدة الإنسان يقول، لا، يقول ويناقش ويستدل ويباحث. حتى هذا الضال الذي لا يعرف إمام زمانه يصبح يعرف إمام زمانه، معرفة، علم، عقيدة.
Welcome back to Morning Baraka. If you've just joined us, you've missed the first part of a very intriguing conversation that I'm having with Yasin Hafidh. I think it's Yasin Hafidh or Hafidh. We'll find out from Yasin. Essentially, his name is Sino Fitness Online. Personally, I've known him from a young age. He was definitely into gymnastics, being able to do somersaults and backflips and all of that. But now he's channeled that passion of his to calisthenics, the use of your own body weight as a resistance when it comes to training and developing your fitness and your body. I think I got that right. Yasin, you still on the line?
Yes, that was perfect.
Did I get that right? Yes,
perfect
okay,
definition.
Brilliant. So Yasin, we talked a lot about, I guess, your personal journey before the break. Now I want to talk about more the impact of social media. So things like Instagram and YouTube. How do you use that to connect to your audience?
So Instagram was essentially used for me to showcase my skills and then for everyone to see and connect with others who are like-minded. And from that, I'm able to monetize, my coaching, my fitness plans, stuff like that. So at the moment, I'm in the stage where I've got a editor, and he will be editing a backlog of videos of mine, and we'll be posting it soon on all forms of social media.
Okay. That hasn't started yet. The videos you mentioned.
No, so I've got a backlog that he'll be editing and he'll release it. So at the moment, I do have videos on across all platforms of TikTok, Instagram, and yeah. So at the moment, we're just in a development stage.
Do you think it helps?
100%. I think basically, utilizing social media is extremely important in today's age. For example, any businesses that use social media, you're able to like gain a greater audience. You're able to showcase your business to a much larger audience.
Did you study any of this, Yasin? The business
No,
side
but
of
I have
things.
a few friends. It depends which, like, marketing side.
Yeah, the marketing side.
The marketing side, no. But I do have friends that have done marketing. I've looked into like SEO and PPC, but it's not really taken too much account into fitness. Like you can't really use that as much in social media.
But calisthenics, you've studied.
Yes.
Okay.
Severely.
Oh, really? So walk us through that course then. How was that? Was it a lot of theory as well as the practical side of it?
So to be honest, learning calisthenics through reading it's not that possible. So to learn calisthenics, you have to actually go through the experiences, go through the injuries, understand the mechanisms of the exercises, and yeah, it's basically through you gain knowledge through the experience. So in my case, I trained with the world champions of calisthenics, went to training camps in Switzerland, in Germany, and France. So all of this experiences allowed me to nurture my skills in calisthenics.
Did you take any did you take on any competitions when it comes to calisthenics?
Yes, I competed last year in the UK. I came fourth, but I was injured. So this year, inshallah, I'll be first.
When is it this year?
In June.
Okay, and you're training towards that as well?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Cool. So I'm moving on, I guess, in terms of tips for people on a daily basis that say don't have that much time. I mean, time is always an excuse, right? I think you would be the first person to tell me there's always time that you can make if you're dedicated and focused on working on fitness. But are there any tips that you can recommend for people to do at home?
Definitely. I would say if you can't get yourself a personal trainer, you can look at home workouts. For example, if you want to start, I'd say start off with Insanity. If you can dedicate 30 days of doing Insanity, I think it's an hour workout or half an hour workout. Get started like that. So if you can do that for 30 days, then join a gym and get yourself a personal trainer.
Before gym before gym and personal trainer, what is Insanity?
So Insanity is essentially it's body weight workouts and it works on your core. They're workouts you can find online, and it helps you get started into fitness.
But it sounds scary, Yasin. It doesn't sound like something I want to take part in.
No, it's definitely for beginners. So you won't have to worry about it being too difficult or too strenuous. So Insanity it's like a start off, and they've got beginners workout programs for yourselves.
Why is it called Insanity? It's just the way it's called.
I think it's because you're just you're breaking that side and you're becoming insane. I don't know, you're becoming insane over fitness.
No, I get it. So look, moving on to a kind of personal business perspective, it is a very scary world. I would say freelancing, finding your own clients. What tips would you give to youngsters out there who want to get into fitness and personal training as a coach, as a career, in the future?
So I would say personal branding is the most important aspect of
people have to trust
freelancing.
People have to trust you as a person who's an expert in their field.
Yeah. So because you're using you're coaching people to become the best version of themselves. So you can't sit there and say, for example, you need to go to the gym 5 times a week, you can't miss any sessions, your diet has to be on point, and you're not doing it yourself. So you have to be a person that speaks from experience, and you're actually doing what you're instructing people to do. You know, you don't want to be a hypocrite in the field that you're working at. So you need to be the best version of yourself for you to then start coaching people.
Is there something that triggered this? So, you know,
that triggered me coaching people?
This better version of yourself. I like that. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Definitely. So I've been on a self-development journey for the last 2 years, I'd say, where, you know, in this day and age, people start to waste their time too much on social media, or they're happy with just being average. Like, why do you just want to be average? You need to be the best person that you can be for your family, for your friends, for your future like kids, your wife. So that I've been obsessed with just trying to better myself every day. If you're not improving yourself 1% per day, then what are you actually doing? What are your priorities in life? So,
yeah, but if you take it a step back, Yasin, what triggered it to make you think, you know what, I need to change this?
I actually don't know. It's something that comes within. It's not something that may trigger it. It could be, you know, you're seeing other people being successful, and you ask yourself, why am I not trying to be successful? So maybe that's the trigger point. Asking yourself, sitting down, reflecting, and really obsessing over, what do you want to be? What do you want to achieve in life? And from that, it ripple effects.
So Sino Fitness, what's the future for Sino? Actually, before that, I was just thinking, do you have any activities for the local kind of Islamic community? What's the plans for your community engagement?
So I got involved with the Imam Ali camp, where I was teaching the kids how to do a few skills and exercises on the trampoline.
Yeah.
So within that aspect, I think it was in Khou'i when I did this, in the sports hall. So I'd love to be more involved within the community and hosting classes like this, maybe a calisthenics class, you know, once a month, or stuff like this. So inshallah, we'll be able to get the community involved in it as well.
Right. So tell us about how people can get in touch with you then.
So you can get in touch with me through Instagram. Just search my name, Cino Fitness, Cino Fitness, and just shoot me a DM, and we can get started with your personal training and coaching.
Perfect. Inshallah, your journey to London is safe. I saw the weather today; it shouldn't be too bad. So hopefully you can jump in a car and get to London safe. But Cino Fitness, Yasin Hafidh, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Absolutely fine. Brilliant. So that was Yasin Hafidh. Actually, he's right. There are things that may trigger you into a personal change, and there are things that you may see. So I may look at other people who are successful in their fields and think, what am I missing? What do I have? You know, I think in Arabic it's like, ana shnaqisni, basically. What limitations do I have that I can't reach that kind of level? I have a brain, I have limbs, I have eyes, I have, physically I have everything that I need. It's just that mental willpower that I need to be obsessed with becoming successful in my field. You can relate that to religion when it comes to you being obsessed with the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, obsessed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or you can make this an obsession with your personal lives and your career. So Yasin, thank you very much for, once again, your time on this. Up next, Yasir Mansour gives us an insight into his latest discoveries, as well as celebrating the birth of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. Stay tuned.
Jiddu, I need to tell you a secret. I had an exam today and I cheated on the exam, and to be honest, I feel like it's eating me up inside as if it's haram.
Your father used to do the exact something and would always get in trouble. But you have done it now and cannot go back. I don't know if it is haram. Khair inshallah.
Thanks, Jiddu. Jiddu, I wanted to ask if it's halal to buy lottery tickets. They're so cheap and we could make a lot of money.
I don't know if it is halal or haram, but never think about something like that again.
Okay, I was just asking. Jiddu,
تعبتني. What do you want now?
I just wanted to ask if Sweet's beef gelatin is halal or haram.
You're supposed to check it before buying it, not after. I don't know if this is halal or haram.
Okay.
What now? I am trying to relax. Why do you keep asking me? تعال هنا الخاطر الله. Just go watch Ahkam SOS. Any question you have, they can answer you. You can call them, message them, anything. Ask as much as you like. They can answer any question from any marja, okay?
Welcome back, dear viewers, to Morning Baraka. It is the first episode of this new and exciting season. We will, of course, honor the birth of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam with a special insight into the joy of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, his father. But before that, Imam al-Jawad is often called Babul Murad, with even an entrance to the holy shrine of Imam al-Jawad and his grandfather Imam al-Kadhim in Kadhimiya called Babul Murad. And there's even a street that's named Shara' Babul Murad, or the street of Babul Murad. Firstly, Murad, in other words, is wants, what people want. Ma yuridun, what people want. The Arabic word is ma yuridun, what they want. Yet why was Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam specifically called Babul Murad? It is said that his neighbors are the ones that named him Babul Murad. Now, which neighbors, you might ask? The ones that live around the holy grave of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. So what is the actual story behind the neighbors and living around the grave? It is said that every time needs and desires befell them, the neighbors of the Imam, they sought the intercession of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. And so he interceded and gave them their need, gave them their desires. And so he became the giver of needs, the door to the needs and desires. And furthermore, someone asks the question, what is the difference between Babul Murad and Babul Hawaj? The simple response is, Babul Murad is Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. Babul Hawaj is his grandfather Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. And actually, there is no difference between the two. For every need is a desire, and every desire is a need. Now moving on, Islamic research centers play a crucial role in helping develop intellectual exploration, spreading knowledge, and the preservation of Islamic heritage. These centers serve as hubs for scholars, researchers, and students to delve into the diverse realms of Islamic thought, theology, jurisprudence, and history. Debuting on Morning Baraka is Yasir Mansour, an aspiring student of Islam himself, very much a social media savvy person and generally an all-round great guy. So we've sent him to various places across London that serve their local community. Today, he's in northwest London uncovering the amazing secrets of an Islamic research centre that you all definitely need to know about. Yasir, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum guys, and today I'm outside the Husseini Islamic Center for Research, where behind me one of the most profound pieces of research takes place of the lives of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. This center, being run by Sheikh al-Kurbasi, has been conducting and continues to conduct profound and detailed pieces of research in honor of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, where his most famous works being the Chronicles of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Join me as I go inside and see what I can discover. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After you've seen now everything that's within this center, I am now with one of my older brothers, Hussein Kibasi. Assalamu alaikum, Hussein. Inshallah, you're well. I wanted to first start off by thanking you for letting me and the team come in and see this beautiful center. And not to waste any person's time, I just wanted to jump straight in and ask, can you walk me through the Husseini Center of Research? Tell me what happens here. For example, why do you have so many books? The Husseiniya downstairs, if you can just walk me through that.
Yeah, so my father established the Husseini Centre for Research actually in our home in 1993 in the UK. And the sole purpose or the main purpose was to produce, write, research and publish what is now the Husseini Encyclopedia. So with nearly 500 volumes published and about 1,500 written, and being edited and researched. So this is a unique encyclopedia. 100%. It's the only one solely on one person and in such detail. MashaAllah. So that's the main purpose of the organisation, and this centre acts as that research centre. But it has other facilities as well, which we can look at as well.
Of course. And I just wanted to ask, in terms of the books that you have in this great library, can the public, for example, one of the viewers, access this library? Can they purchase a book, let's say, stuff like that?
Yeah, so the main purpose of the centre is the researchers who come here, whether they're doing it as part of academic studies, shuyukh, sada, and they'll do the research, they'll help my father into publishing and editing the books. But the centre is a research centre, it's open to the public, and many people come here to the academic studies. I think, more than 30 PhDs have been produced, not by the centre, but people who've conducted research have come here and mainly used the encyclopedia and other supporting material. So the library itself is really vast. There's over 180,000 books in the library, in over 20 languages. Some of them are unique manuscripts. They're locked away a little bit. And some of them are sort of editorials or that aren't accessible anywhere else. Some of it's been digitised, but there are other libraries around the world working on that. So the public can come if someone wants to do research or look at or find a particular book. They can. There is a no borrowing policy, but as long as they're here, they can access all the books and stay as long as they want.
MashaAllah. And final question is, the Husseiniya downstairs, the viewers saw I recorded that there's a very large space downstairs. I just wanted to ask, what happens there? Do you have majalis, lessons?
Yeah, so well, the main purpose is obviously the research that goes on, and people can come and do their own research. There are also, it's a centre, and it's open to the community, so there's weekly dua nudba that goes on, dua kumail. There's classes for teenagers particularly, but anyone else on aqaid and stuff on Mondays and Wednesdays. And it's pretty busy. I think each evening there are 1 or 2 events for the community. So members of the community can come. There's breakfast as well after on a Friday. If people want to take part in that, and a committee that organises all the events. So that's that's in line with all the research as well. So it's a research centre, but there's also a community built around that, and there is a big, like you said, a big large Husseiniya hall that's being built. Inshallah, when the facilities are complete, there'll be dining facilities, and there'll be a complete Husseiniya with majalis, inshallah, for all the events.
MashaAllah. Well, there you had it, viewers. Everything we needed to know about the Husseini Center for Research. Thank you so much, Brother Hussein, for letting us here. And may Allah give you and your father and the whole team tawfiq for doing such a beautiful project.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
And there you have it, Mulla Ali. Now, honestly, Mulla, being here at the Husseini Islamic Center for Research, there's 2 things that really caught my eye. First of all, how many books there are actually in here. That's over 180,000 books have been stored here in honor of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And that the Chronicles of Imam al-Hussein, the book famously authored by Sheikh al-Qadbasi, has over 500 volumes published and has over 1,500 volumes handwritten waiting to be published. This is a gem that we have in the community, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give Sheikh al-Qadbasi and the whole team behind this project tawfiq. And this, brothers and sisters, was truly a Morning Baraka exclusive here with Yasser's Discoveries. Now, over to you, Mulla Ali.
Many thanks, Yasir Mansour. Thank you very much for that insight into the Islamic Research Centre, or the Husseini Islamic Research Centre, based in northwest London. Now, if there is any organisation out there that wants to be featured on Yasir's discoveries, who are in and around the northwest, maybe London area, where we can travel out if we need to, please do get in touch. We'd love to be able to feature your organisation, your business, and how you benefit the local community exclusively on Morning Baraka. So that was Yasir Yasir's discoveries. So many thanks, Yasir, for that. The 10th of the holy month of Rajab is the auspicious birth anniversary of the ninth light of the Imamah, Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhi salam. His father, Imam Rida alayhi salam, took much care of his wife, known as Khuzayran, because he had perceived through the unseen that she would give birth to a boy that Allah had chosen for the Imamah and the general guardianship of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He would be one of the Prophet's 12 successors, and Imam Rida alayhi salam had informed his close companions of this. Now, Imam Rida alayhi salam entrusted his honored sister, Lady Hakima, daughter of Imam Musa ibn Ja'far al-Kadhim alayhi salam, to remain with his wife until she gave birth to her child. Lady Hakima carried out everything her brother had asked her to do, and when the Imam's wife, Khuzayran, felt she was about to give birth, Imam Rida alayhi salam asked his sister to come with a midwife. Now, Imam Rida alayhi salam lit a lamp in the house and remained in expectation of the great newborn. It was not long until his wife gave birth to a great figure of intellect, Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. He would then grow up to receive or take on the Imamah at a very, very young age, the age of about 8 or 9 years old. Him being actually the second youngest after Imam al-Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala farajuhu sharif. After Imam Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala farajuhu sharif, he became the second youngest to take on the Imamah. Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam is very much known for his discussions and debates with those around him. A lot of people tried to challenge Imam al-Jawad because of his young age, and so they challenged him with theology, with jurisprudence, with ethics and manners and history. But he managed to answer every single question right. Why? Because he is the wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the man that took on the responsibility of guiding the ummah. And he essentially paved the way for a lot of Shia literature that was already existent at the time of Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, but also paved the way for more Islamic heritage to be given in the light of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, those of Imam al-Hadi and Imam al-Askari alayhim salam. Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam is known as Bab al-Murad. He's also known as Bab al-Hawaj. A lot of people have gone to Imam al-Jawad for their needs and their desires. Those with broken hearts, those with heavy hearts, head towards Imam al-Jawad. Although typically you would go to, for example, Abil Fadl Abbas, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam al-Kadhim being Bab al-Hawaj. But less is known of Imam al-Jawad's power when it comes to the position that he has with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and giving the desires and needs to those who ask. So knock on his door, it being the birth of Imam al-Jawad, knock on his door, whether you're thousands of miles away or whether you're right by his shrine in Kadhimiyya, knock on his door and ask him or ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your needs through the power of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. And that today's on this day, literally is on this day, 10th of Rajab is today. So congratulations on the birth of Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. So that brings us more or less to the end of our program today. Of course, we will end with the dua of Monday, of course, to start your Mondays, to start your days with the barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a supplication given to us by Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam, the dua of Monday. A recap for today, just in case you've missed it, but you can go back to our YouTube to find the full interview with Yasin Hafiz, aka Sina or Sino Fitness, online. He is a calisthenics personal trainer, the use of your own body weight as resistance when it comes to achieving your fitness and body goals. He has a massive emphasis on mental health and mental strength in order to complete your goals. So whatever it is that you want to achieve, be it weight loss, be it weight gain, body, all of that stuff, He is an expert in his field at such a young age, so we wish him all the best. Tomorrow, inshallah, we're talking nutrition with Sukaina. More details are on our Instagram at Morning Baraka. Please do follow, give a like, give a mention, whatever it is that you want to do to spread the word, because tomorrow, inshallah, we're talking nutrition with Sukaina. We'll give you more details, inshallah, tomorrow. Later on this week, we're talking about cyber security with Zahid Kimji, an expert in this field as well. Can't wait for that conversation. So, from all of us at Morning Baraka, we head now towards Karbala, where we listen to the dua of Monday as given to us by Imam Sajjad, recited by Brother Ahmed Al-Rakabi. And I end with, of course, oh Allah, please make the beginning of this day of mine righteousness, its middle prosperity, and its end success. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لم يشهد أحدا حين فطر السماوات والأرض، ولا اتخذ معينا حين برأ السماوات، لم يشارك في الإلهية ولم يظاهر في الوحدانية، كالتي الألسن عن غاية صفته، وانحسرت العقول عن كنه معرفته، وتواضعت الجبابرة لهيبته، وعنت الوجوه لخشيته، وانقاد كل عظيم لعظمته. فلك الحمد متواترا متسقا، ومتواليا مستوسقا، وصلواته على رسوله أبدا، وسلامه دائما سرمدا. اللهم اجعل أول يومي هذا صلاحا، وأوسطه فلاحا، وآخره نجاحا، وأعوذ بك من يوم أوله فزاع، وأوسطه جزاع، وآخره وجاع. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل نذر نذرته، ولكل وعد وعدته، ولكل عهد عاهدته، ثم لم أفي لك به. وأسألك في مظالم عبادك عندي، فأيما عبد من عبيدك أو أمة من إمائك كانت له قبلي مظلمة ظلمتها إياه في نفسه أو في عرضه أو في ماله أو في أهله وولده أو غيبة اغتبته بها أو تحامل عليه بميل أو هوى أو أنفة أو حمية أو رياء أو عصبية غائبا كان أو شاهدا وحيا كان أو ميتا فقصرت يدي وضاق وسعي عن ردها إليه والتحلل منه فأسألك يا من يملك الحاجات وهي مستجيبة بمشيئته ومسرعة إلى إرادته أن تصلي على محمد وآل محمد وأن ترضيه عني بما شئت وتهب لي من عندك رحمة إنه لا تنقصك المغفرة ولا تضرك الموهبة يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أولني في كل يوم اثنين نعمتين منك اثنتين سعادة في أوله بطاعتك ونعمة في آخره بمغفرتك يا من هو الإله ولا يغفر الذنوب سواه وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, on the day of judgment a caller will call out, where is Zayn al-Abidin? Where is the jewel of the worshippers? And Ali ibn Hussein alayhi salam will step forward. I often wondered how one receives a title like the jewel of the worshippers. Is it because his face would turn pale and he would shake in his prayers out of fear when others don't even know that it's time for prayer? Is it because in the darkness of the night, when evil envelops the people, that his du'as used to be whispered through the air? Is it because he would prostrate until the skin on his forehead becomes hard, when others won't even go into sujood to say shukran lillah? Or is it because on the day of Ashura he said, fetch me a stick so I may stand, and the sword so I may defend my father, when our labbaik dies on our lips? No, if you ask me what makes Zayn al-Abidin, it is not just the hours of prayer, but also the resilience and attitude to difficulty. Because like the jewel that is cut by the jeweler, so that its shape and shine dazzles the admirer, Ali ibn Hussein alayhi salam was cut in this world, and that is what made him Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam.
وجل قال الله عز 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 وجل إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري